How I disappointed my parents and built a business that is generating over 5 to 8 lakhs every single month. And before you start thinking this is just another one of I dropped out and became a millionaire stories, let me clarify. When I say parents, I am using them as a metaphor for society. If you want to live life on your own terms, you have to go against the preconceived rules of society. And the reason I'm creating this video is because I meet people on a daily basis who are compromising their careers, relationships, and even their dreams simply because they lack the courage to speak up and challenge society. But then a lot of you might think, Arey Himanshu, who are you to tell all this? What have you done? You are running a services company making only 5 to 8 lakhs per month, not a Fortune 500 company. Yes, that's true. I'm not going to lie. I haven't built something very great yet, so who am I to tell you all this? So before telling you my story, let me tell you about a man whose advice you might actually listen. He's someone who is considered to be one of the greatest new generation philosophers by everyone, and his philosophies have been described as life-changing by almost everyone you look up to. His name is Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche was a 19th century German philosopher known for his critique of religion and morality. You can read all about him on the internet or watch thousands of videos that philosophy nerds have created about him on YouTube. But the thing that I want to talk about is something he describes in his famous book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which is the concept of Übermensch and the three metamorphoses of spirit. Let's start with Übermensch. So what is Übermensch? Übermensch is someone who does not follow the norms of the society. They rebel and create their own pathways. But they are not rebelling just to be edgy. They are making a conscious choice to create their own moral compass. Here are the key characteristics of Übermensch as per Nietzsche. First, they are self-creating. They don't just rebel against the old values, they actually create new ones based on their own experience and wisdom. Second, they take complete responsibility. No blaming parents, society, or circumstances. They own their every decision and its consequences. Third, they are constantly evolving. They're not someone who are trying to reach some final perfect state. They are always growing, always overcoming their previous limitations. Now the next question is, how do I actually become one? Like, what's the roadmap? Nietzsche actually gave us step-by-step process and it's absolutely brilliant. He called it the three metamorphoses of spirit. Think of it like three-stage transformation from a normal person to a Übermensch. Stage 1, the camel. So you start as a camel, and what do camels do? They carry heavy loads across the desert. Right? This is where most of us begin. And honestly, this is where most people stay their entire life. Camel says, I should, I must, and I have to. I should get good grades because that's what good students do. I must climb the corporate ladder because that is what success is. I have to get married and have kids because that's what adults do. Nietzsche says the camel stage isn't inherently bad. We all need to learn the rules first. You can't break the game until you understand how it works. This is where you absorb society's value, your family's expectations, religious teachings, all of it. You are basically downloading the operating system of your culture. But here's the thing. If you stay camel forever, you will spend your whole life carrying other people's expectations on your back. You will be strong, sure, but you will never be free. Now comes the stage 2, the lion. And lions, well, lions don't carry loads. They fight. This is your rebellious phase. But not teenage rebellion. This is conscious, intentional rebellion. The lion looks at all those should and must and says, no, I will. This is where you start questioning everything. Why should I define success by salary? Who decided that this is the right way to live? What if everything that I have been taught is just opinion? The lion phase is crucial because you have to destroy the old before you can build the new. You have to burn down your inherited belief system to make space for your authentic self. But here's the catch. Lions are great at destroying, but they can't create. A lion can tear down the old moral system, but it can't build a new one. That's why you can't stay in the lion mode forever. You will just become another perpetual rebel without a cause. Then comes the stage 3, which is the child. Now this is where the magic happens. Children don't carry burden like camel. They don't fight like lion. Children do something beautiful. They create through play. They see the world with their fresh eyes. They make their own rules naturally without even thinking about it. The child does not reject the old out of anger. They simply don't need it anymore. They're too busy building something new, something that is authentically theirs. And this is where you become Übermensch. Now let me tell you how I went through those exact 3 stages. My camel phase. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed learning and studying. I was genuinely good at it because I used to enjoy it a lot. But after 10th boards, the rat race to IITs started. Everyone wanted to get one of those 8,000 seats, and society said that if you don't get it, your life will be ruined. It took all the fun away from studying, and all it gave me was anxiety. Surprise, surprise, I was not able to get the seat. So I got admission into a local engineering college, but then towards the end of 4 years, it started all over again. Apply for government job competitive examination, GATE competitive examination, even getting into MNCs required competing against thousands of people. And it's not like I don't know how to clear any competitive examination. I've cleared the first phase of almost all the exams that I have given. But when I ask myself, after clearing the exam, is this the kind of job that I want to be doing for the rest of my life? The answer to that was always no. This was me being the perfect camel, carrying everyone's expectations, my parents, my society's, relatives on my back. Beta engineering kar lo, government job kar lo, life secure ho jayegi. This is what they used to say. Then comes the lion phase. One day I came across this concept called freelancing, where you don't have to rely on any company or clear any exam to get work. If you have a skill, then there are hundreds of people who have thousands of gigs just for you. And that was the gateway drug for me. For the first time, I said no to a traditional path, and I said I will find my own way. This was my lion phase. I was fighting against everything that society told me was safe and right. And my parents were like, let's just say they're not thrilled. ये क्या कर रहा है, फ्रीलांसिंग कोई करियर है, लोग क्या कहेंगे? But I had to destroy the old belief system that success is equal to government job is equal to security is equal to happiness. I got my first gig for just 200 rupees and my first big project was just 15,000 rupees. And then my child phase. Now here's where it gets interesting, the child phase. I stopped fighting against the old system and started creating something entirely new. I wasn't angry at traditional careers anymore. I was just building. The highest I was paid was 5 lakh rupees in a single month for one project, which would have been my yearly package for a fresher's role at that time had I followed an MNC path. And that month, my company made over 12 lakhs revenue. But more importantly, I was creating my own rules, my own definition of success, my own way of living. I wasn't rebelling anymore. I was just being authentically me. Now here's what I want you to understand. Most people are stuck in their camel phase their entire life. They are carrying society's expectation, family pressure, and conventional wisdom on their backs until they die. Some people make it to the lion phase, they rebel, they question, they fight. But they get stuck there, always angry, always fighting, never creating anything new. And very few make it to the child phase, where you stop fighting the old and start creating something new. If you're watching this video and feeling frustrated with your career, your relationships, or your life in general, chances are that you are a camel who needs to become a lion. But remember, the goal isn't to stay lion forever. The goal is to become a child again. So here are your action steps. Step 1, identify what shoulds and musts you are carrying that aren't actually yours. Write them down. Step 2, have the courage to say no to at least one of them. Start small if you need to. Step 3, instead of just rebelling, start creating. What would you build if nobody else was watching you? What would your success look like if you designed it for yourself? The world does not need another camel, nor does the world need another angry lion. The world needs you to become the child you were always meant to be. Creative, authentic, and free. And if you want my help in building the business that you've already dreamt of, the business that reflects your authentic self rather than society's expectation, then watch this video next. Because building a business isn't just about making money. It's about creating your own path in the world that constantly tells you to follow someone else. See you in the next video. Bye.